Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1717 of our daily content grind. It is a Monday, it is time for a news roundup, and we do have a bunch of news to talk about this week, though a lot of it not very big. A lot of it is not very big news, so we'll see how long this actually takes. Now, starting us off, we have a brand new leaked listing from JT Prime 17. We know those are usually trustworthy, but this is announcing the 2027 Commander class toy for Age of Evolution, and it's going to be Thunderwing. Thunderwing is a fascinating choice. I mean, Pretenders have traditionally not done very well amongst the usual Transformers offerings. However, at Commander class, you are giving the chance to have a far more detailed and more complete Pretender experience, and it might actually serve a much better purpose. Now, this was a Mega Pretender back in the day, meaning that the shell had a transformation and the two units could combine into a single super vehicle, meaning there's a lot more play value, which is great for a Commander class toy. Anytime you go above a Leader class figure, I need more than just vehicle robot, right? I need a little bit more play value than that. This is going to offer it. The question here is, which do they even go with? Thunderwing has a lot of classic depictions. The original Marvel comics, he was a big deal, but also in like Stormbringer, like that is such an iconic design for him, and I would love it for like honestly. No, like what we're talking about, like we're talking about the current toy lines where the name of the game has been, we're just going to do mixes of things. Like if they take the same approach of Primes and it's a little bit G1, a little bit of Stormbringer, I would accept that. I would accept that. But yeah, at Commander class, he's going to have the size of the Stormbringer version of Thunderwing. That's kind of exciting. He should have all the features that you would expect his toy to have. I feel like everything we've done, from everything from the little Prime Masters up to like modernized versions of Pretender characters, like our Bomb Burst, our Skullgrin, and then even moving up into like Micronus Prime, who's basically doing the Pretender thing. I feel like all of it is built up into creating this, and I'm very excited for it. Like, it's a very out of the blue character to make, but the toy should be fantastic. But that's all we have right now, is just a listing. We have no idea what it is beyond that. So let's move on to things we can actually see. So Takara did a live stream, or actually Hasbro Asia did a live stream showing off a whole bunch of the new exclusives. So we get an idea of exactly what is coming out soon. So here is Sentinel Prime in hand. And what shocks me to begin with is, okay, that disc he comes with is a lot bigger than I thought. I thought it was really just like the shield on his arm, but no, that's a separate accessory. I still do not see a $25 value in an extra disc. But there you go. In the robot mode, he does look very, very clean. There is all of the Prime relics attached at the same time. See, I'm counting through. No, Vector Prime's sword is missing. The stock photo showed a brand new tooled and colored sword for Vector Prime, indicating that we might get a new mold. This one is completely bare. I'm actually curious if either version of Vector Prime sword would fit in there. But this tells me that what was shown in the stock photo was probably completely by accident, and we have a brand new Vector Prime on the way that they are not ready to show off yet. That is what it's telling me. Size-wise seems fine. I mean, it's a little bit tall Voyager. It doesn't quite reach Megatron or Optimus heights, which is fine. I'm still like I am still of the mindset of like, there are Sentinel Primes I would have much rather had. He does not look bad. He doesn't look bad, at least in the robot mode. It's just crazy expensive to get a hold of this guy. Yeah, what he comes with is not worth the extra asking price. So that's my take on it right now. It's fine for what it is. but I ain't paying full price for it. They also showed off a color sample of Grimlock. If you hadn't told me it was in color, I would not have realized, because he kind of still just kind of looks proto gray. I mean, it's a huge T-Rex toy. See, this is where this is where I mean, of like, once you reach bigger than leader class, I have to get something other than just vehicle robot mode. This doesn't do that. It is just a really, really big T-Rex toy. And while it's cool to have a T-Rex Grimlock that is so big that a leader class Optimus Prime can ride and it looks proportionally correct, I'm still not really like enthused by this. You know, at $190, I like that design. Okay. This is definitely one where I'm like, I want to see what this one does. I'm super curious how this is going to perform, especially on the online shops, and if I might actually be able to get this on clearance. Like back in the day when the Titans were like always ending up on clearance if you waited long enough. I kind of feel like this might go the same way. I don't know. We'll see. See, showed off the new 3-pack, which this one is pretty easy. Nothing really to talk about because we know these molds very well by now, but it is just, you know, 3 more of the 84 bots in completely opaque plastic, which is great to see. Love seeing the painted windows rather than insert all the stuff they did before the previous version. Not seeing it here, but that Ironhide does have the yellow striping that the original version missed. I do really like collecting these to get all the translucent plastic out of my 84 cast, out of my Transformers in general. So I will be easily picking these things up, which means I stare at the ones I have now going, well, you're going to eBay soon, aren't you? They do look cool. Do like those. Okay. We got box pictures for the upcoming MPG Soundwave, the repaint of the previous Masterpiece Soundwave. Still a good toy, not knocking the toy quality, just weird that they didn't even like retool it in any way to be a little bit cleaner or up to modern standards for Masterpiece. Just kind of put it out again. It's weird. Like MPG, I've said it before, just really has not really shown anything that like convinces me that it should be a completely separate toy line. The weird thing about this is that this is at a virtual hobby festival, which means it's basically in VR chat. So you're looking at digital boxes of everything. It's a weird way to do it, but hey, it does give us an interesting way of getting a look at the box for the first time. Nothing really to speak of, though. It's pretty much the same toy it was before. It's great if you didn't get it the first time. Here's something fascinating. So, we've had a lot of weird, like, relic things popping up lately. You know, last week we got to talk about all of these computer listings for classics toys that never came out and we never previously heard of, which is kind of wild. Well, here we are looking at what might be an unreleased Artemis figure from Beast Wars 2nd, which is kind of crazy that we're just now unearthing this. I talked about it in the past, and it still remains true. I love that the nature of Transformers means that there's so much still that we haven't discovered and learned about a franchise, even though it's been around for over 40 years, that we're still making discoveries. So this is fascinating. Now, granted, don't know where this actually came from. Let's see, an Artemis was planned to be included with the Masterpiece MP48 Lio convoy, but was omitted from the final product. And here's the unpainted prototype. Okay, so the image was supposed to come from a private chat group and wasn't publicly posted before. We should say with a grain of salt a moment to get a more reliable source. So for all we know, these might be a garage kit. This might be something that they personally produced just to go along with it. It might not actually have been the Artemis toy, but worth noting because it's a character in Transformers that never got a toy, despite having a lot of on-screen appearances. Takara Tomy decided to show off a little bit more of what you can do with the upcoming Missing Link Ironhide. And this is just amusing to me. So apparently, through the way that it can transform, you actually have a spot where a mini bot can ride on the back and actually mount the gun, the big missile launcher that comes out. This is like the funniest way they could have like included the play value from his like combat sled that is not in this version. It is amusing. It does remind me of something I would see in the original cartoon, right? You know, where like you've got characters just like uh riding while one, letting one character drive while the other one shoots or something like that. There's a few scenes this reminds me of. It's a neat little thing to throw in. And it does give him a little bit more play value. Like this does look like a really cool figure. I do think the execution is misdirected. Like I would have preferred it to feel more like a proper G1 toy. It feels more like a Generations toy that's designed to look like a G1 toy. But it does still look really cool. It does still look really cool. I don't know if I'm grabbing it or not. I don't know. Those imports have become some of like a once in a blue moon thing rather than a consistent purchase. So we have a random listing popping up for a Cyberworld Air and Sea Starscream at the $27.99 price point. That would be the price point of your like the big like G2 color Megatron thing, the one that's just a one step changer hound that was retooled. It's in that size class. And we have seen where Cyberworld is going to dedicate more attention to that size class and give us like fresh figures for it rather than just that weird repaint. So curious what an Air and Sea Starscream actually looks like. I'm not even sure what you do with Air and Sea unless he turns into some kind of like pontoon boat, which would be weird because it's not exactly a vehicle we get in Transformers all the time. But no, it does mean that we got some more Cyberworld stuff coming that's a little bit more interesting than just the standard size figures. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I need to do an episode catching up on Cyberworld. I'm actually like way behind on the show. So, I need to sit down and take, 20 minutes to catch up on it. So, Hasbro CEO Chris Cox did an interview talking about video games and what he would like the franchise to be doing moving forward. So, the relevancy here is that Transformers is specifically named amongst the properties that he wants to do like actual dedicated video game stuff too. We'll be building games mostly around D&D, Magic, Transformers, maybe some of our other properties, maybe selectively some new stuff. It'll be very focused on action, adventure, and role-playing games for PC and console. So he has like bragged openly about having spent like, according to him, they either did spend or are ready to spend $1 billion on the video game future of Hasbro. Keep in mind, Chris Cox is the CEO who really doesn't want to run a toy company. He wants to run a video game company. If it was up to him, and it might be, Hasbro wouldn't produce any physical products. They would just do licensing of their properties and do a bunch of video games based on them. Let's keep in mind, Hasbro has had a very bad track record when it comes to video games. So we have the cancellation of Transformers Reactivate, the game studio for the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes game, that shut down. They canceled a D&D game. We'll remember that they fired the production studio behind Baldur's Gate 3, a legitimate game of the year. Great choice. Great choice, Chris. You spot on there. On top of the fact that they still have not done anything to get the Activision games back up in circulation despite fan demand and toy product out for it, they also continue to hand these licenses over to a bunch of shovelware companies producing just random junk that, frankly, makes the franchise look terrible. We have an incredibly bad track record when it comes to video games, and the most recent ones, a Mario Kart knockoff and a really, really bad adventure game for Earthspark. Yeah, that doesn't help. So the video game future of Hasbro looks pretty bleak at the moment. But it looks like he wants to put an effort in, so we'll see. So for the so for this apology tour, we are getting brand new Transformers 86 movies stuff, which includes a new t-shirt for the reformatted edition, which shows you all of the different titles on the soundtrack. But you also have a few new ways of getting said soundtrack. You've got a CD decorated to look like the Matrix, which is really cool. You also have, we have the album in bright neon green. Not sure why they went with neon green for it. And then the one that we started with, which is a pink cassette. So we're doing cassettes as retro products now, which is fun. You know, it's a funny one. Good luck finding someone to play it on. But no, it's a fun way of having some new collectibles for the 86 movie soundtrack. You know, it's kind of a cool idea. Oh, and keep in mind, this is all re-recorded stuff. So they've got the Knights of Unicron, who I don't even know who that is, but they are redoing and covering all of these, right down to Weird Al. Someone is covering and releasing a Weird Al song, which is a wild prospect to me. But here we are. So yeah, there's a sample of it, so you can hear a little bit of their new version of it. They don't sound bad, but it does sound weird. There's a new issue of the Legends comic out right now that explores both the Nemesis Star convoy as well as possible connections to the Dark Amber Lio convoy. So you do get some versus action here. It's not translated yet to my knowledge. But the crazy thing, like the insanity that is Takara Legends fiction, is continuing, which is kind of cool to see. Oh, and yeah, they are definitely implying that this is Shock Blast, like Energon Laser Wave, which I kind of love that they are embracing that. Okay, Stern Pinball put out a little bit more for us to find out about the upcoming machine, both the prices, if you want to actually own one yourself, but we also have full images of every angle on this pinball machine now, and the differences between the different versions of it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, here's a little bit of internal shot, and I'll also point you to the fact that TFW has embedded a few sample videos to show you exactly how it works as a pinball machine. And I'm assuming that's going to show you, oh, okay, I do like that there is a function for all the combiners. That's kind of neat. But I assume it will show you like how that Optimus transforms, because it very much obviously going to transform. So if you want to find out a little bit more about a weird pinball machine for Transformers, there you go. That's on the way. Let's take a look at what Yellow Park's offering up. We have the official unboxed version of their Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, which they know this sculpt so well. They know this sculpt so freaking well. Like, yeah, like it looks incredible. And that is exactly what I would expect out of Yellow Park quality. So we're not going to talk about this too much today because the images are actually kind of on the small side, but also because I'm going to tell you about this toy directly very soon. So keep an eye on that. Might be this week, depending on shipping, but keep an eye out. We will be hearing directly from Yellow Park sometime soon about this particular toy. And in the meantime, their AMK Minis have announced their Skywarp and Nemesis Prime and shown off some good detail shots of these. I don't get into the Minis quite as much, but we have talked about them here on the channel. They're pretty good quality for what they are, and they're good desktop size action figures for some of your favorite Transformers. So if you like your black repaints, you got 2 more on the way. Okay, Blockies. Let's move over to them, and they've shown off their next wave of wheels, which is going to be Wreck and Rule Series 2. And this has some wild choices in it. So here we go. It's Cup, Blur, and RC. And they're all very IDW Cybertronian vibed. I like that. The other car is Alpha Trion. which is, it's a crazy choice. It's a crazy choice. Alpha Trion has never been a car. He's a spaceship or a lion. It's one or the other. Yeah, like it's crazy idea for Alpha. I'm pretty sure that's just like a Rodimus repaint or something though. Like it does not fit him very well. But we have a lockdown. We have Springer in helicopter mode. We've got Smokescreen, which kind of just looks like Springer repainted. But then you have the Grimlock. Seeing a new toy for War Within Grimlock, even if it's just a toy car that you quickly build from a model, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to me. It says IDW Grimlock is based on IDW comics. That is not. That is a Dreamwave design. Weird and wild to see that again. That makes me hope that they do all of them. I kind of want all of them now. Like if Blockies is willing to touch the War Within designs, yeah, the Galaxy kits could go wild at some point. More Stunticons. We've got Dead End and Wild Rider. We've also have a Drift and a Sideswipe. So if you like your Transformer cars, we got a really nice selection going on here. Very, very cool to see. And to finish this off, a company called DenQ, or an artist called DenQ, has collaborated with Transformers for a pop-up shop featuring a whole bunch of their style of artwork, which is very much kind of like modern retro in style. I mean, it does very much look like the robot anime art style from the 80s. But no, you've got charms, you've got standees, you've got all manner of things being made in this style. I saw people. Okay, I want to preface this. I want to point this out. Yeah, the shirts actually look pretty cool. I actually really I like how some of that looks on the shirts. And then you see charms, keychains, acrylics, the usual stuff that you get from a Japanese pop-up. I want to point out that a lot of people who saw this for the first time in the comment section immediately cried AI. This is not AI. This is a known Japanese artist, and her work has always been in this style. So no, this is not fake. This is not generated. This is real. It just looks different than what you expected it to look like. So it's fair to not like it. Don't immediately cry AI when you can very easily prove that it is not. So if you like the artwork, there you go. You got good luck getting a hold of it. If you're in Japan and you have the chance, visit the pop-up shop. Where is it? Usually tells me where these are, just in case. Okay. Shinjuku. Hang on. Screen's not very clear. Shinjuku Mari Men in Tokyo from May 22nd to May 31st. So, yeah, you don't have a lot of time. Even if you are in Japan right now, you got less than a week to get on this. But that is it for me. That is all of the news for the week. Thank you very much for watching. You are now officially caught up. So, I will see you tomorrow for yet more Transformers stuff. Until next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.